ladies and gentlemen, we have made it here to the Lakeside Speedway in Kansas City, Kansas. Check out this gorgeous racetrack and facility. Nice to be somewhere that I have been before. Ran Lakeside twice, once in 2020, once in 2021. In both those nights, I ran 7th with the ASCS National Tour. Welcome back on this cold, chilly, and windy October day. The weather's not looking too great today in the sense that, like I said, it's just gonna be extremely cold. Maybe a little bit of rain way later. We should be able to avoid that with the show, but just typical. It's getting close to winter time here in the area, and we're all sticking it out, winter coats on, couple layers, and we're ready to do some 410 racing tonight with the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. Now, it's worth noting, I feel like most half miles don't really get a good reputation for how they race, but I feel like Lakeside can be an exception because here, if it's right, it gets really slick, it slows down, and it still stays dicey in and out of lap traffic, and the lanes are constantly changing. So I got my fingers crossed that everything cooperates weather-wise and we get a good surface this evening. And as you guys can probably tell, I'm a little biased when I talk about this place. See, this was the first track I ran on my first ever trip east in the sprint car back in 2020, and I had such a good experience and I'd never really seen a place this big before that I just knew I wanted to come back, especially with the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series, and now today is that day. So I'm pumped to get the 1T out on track and just hoping to make the most of it and get shark racing up front. You guys know the drill. Gotta unload, gotta have speed, hot lap well, qualify good, and try to start as far up front as we can tonight for the show. One of those nights here at Lakeside, you guys know how it goes with the Outlaws. You either start hot or you don't, and we're off to a slow start. 29 cars. Racetrack is way slicker than I would have thought, just because it was wet, but it didn't have much moisture super far down, so quickly it burned off in hot laps and got really wide. We drew a late pill, which I don't think entirely hurt us, but I think guys throughout the whole field kind of made it work. Anyway, we ended up timing in, I think, 22nd, 23rd, so we were deep. I didn't feel like my balance was bad. I just didn't feel like I was really going anywhere. Overall, I think my laps could have been a little smoother. I don't think my line was horrible. Like I said, I just didn't feel like I'm spinning a lot, and just going around the track not with enough speed and getting enough momentum built up. So we're gonna make some changes here, and these heat races are definitely gonna be crucial. They're taking the top 6 of the feature. I think we're gonna be starting 8th, so definitely gotta get up on the wheel early and make some moves and get to that top 6 to transfer directly into tonight's A main event. So 8th to 6th there in that heat race. That was good enough to lock us into tonight's main event. Obviously, we're hoping to get as many spots there as possible. Every position we moved up was only going to help our starting position here in this 25-lap feature. Racetrack is super, super slick. And both ends, you know, are a little different. 3 and 4 has a lot less grip. 1 and 2, there was some patches of moisture that almost seemed like they came back for a second, and then it was dirty across. Guys were making the bottom work down there and also running the top. But 3 and 4, I mean 3 and 4, you could also run both lines, but just a lot less grip to search for. Overall, I just immediately felt frustrated here at the beginning of the night with qualifying, and I don't know, I didn't feel like my lap was horrible. I didn't really feel like I was just moving forward, and I just hate when we're that far off, because it's like you're playing catch up all night, and I'm over that. It sucks. But that's also part of this whole deal. So you're either on it or you're not at the beginning of the night. So we were better there in that heat race. I felt good on the bottom. I made a good pass there to get into 6th. Overall on the top, I still feel like I could use more grip, and I think some of it's just the track. I mean, everybody's spinning, but I just feel like I'm spinning so much I can't get going fast enough until the car is almost like it's just not 100% in the track, or it's over driving into the track, if that makes sense. So we're gonna make some changes. I'm gonna keep working on some things too behind the wheel. I think, you know, a lot of it is just on these half miles, remember being smooth and, you know, not over driving with the arms, and you know, a lot of feet work here at a place like this, especially as you move between the 2 lanes. Sounds like they're gonna work the track here soon. Otherwise, I do think it's gonna get close to laying rubber and being so hard on tire wear, you know, throughout a whole race. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on that, keep you guys updated. I think we're gonna be rolling off from 16th, 17th, 18th position. So here's the update, an unusual situation. It's been a weird weekend in Kansas with some things popping up you don't see too often. They overwatered when they reworked the surface with how much water they dumped in areas where they didn't really till it up. So it's way too slimy to go and race. So now all the teams, they're telling us to put our old tires on, whatever we don't want to run. We're gonna go do a couple quick hot lap sessions, burn off the grease, and then we're gonna go race. So we're gonna strap in for that. I guess go help the racetrack, get it to where it needs to be raceable, and then we'll run our 25 lap A. Laps are complete. It's now time to go run the race. Kind of just went out there. I think they gave us 6 or 7 laps. They did 4 groups. Guys just out there kind of 25%, 30%, 40, 50, just try to get a little bit more each lap, but pretty slimy. I feel like it is getting to the point where it's going to be about as good as it could be probably to run a race and safe enough to go. The bottom's not too bad. It's more the top and like the very top. Now with all that, I still think there's a chance that this thing rubbers up, so we just got to try to make passes early, use the track while we have it, and definitely try to adapt throughout the race. I think my car is going to be as close as it's been all night, and going to have my top wing to make some adjustment if I want to go forward or back, and just got to be aggressive and go make it happen.
the night is complete here at Lakeside, and just in general, not what we were hoping for. To kind of add to everything and some of the chaos, at least we got the feature in. We barely got it in time. They were calling for rain about 10 o'clock. Sure enough, we pull in the pits and it kind of starts to rain. And now we're all kind of stuck in here. I mean, not stuck in here because of the rain, but it's so jammed. All the Outlaw rigs, we're all just waiting to get out. So yeah, that happened. Everyone's rushing to load up, get all of our equipment, you know, not get it wet, not get everything muddy. As far as the race went, I actually don't think we were, I don't think we were horrible. We made our car better as the night went on, but just starting so far back, like it's hard to make anything heroic happen unless you're just absolutely stellar. I had a really good first lap, passed some cars early. I think I maybe was up to 12th. And then, I don't know if I just faded or it just felt like I struggled to really find my footing in the first half of the race. I was better at the end, but still I struggled being tight in spots, and then, you know, tight when I was against the grip. And then when I was anywhere else trying to run the bottom, if I was too low, get caught in the middle, like I was just too free. Kind of a free on entry where it's just like you lose the back of the car and then you're all crossed up. And anyway, so long story short, I just not a great night for us here at Lakeside. You guys know how the Outlaw Tour can be. It's so important to unload with speed, and we're just struggling to start close enough to where we can, you know, maybe make a couple of fine-tune adjustments for, you know, qualifying and be right on. And that's where a lot of the other teams are they're just getting us. They're just, you know, they're obviously a little faster out of the gate, and we're taking all throughout the night to just be fast enough to compete with them. And by that point, you're so far back, everyone's so close, and depending on track conditions and what happens, like, it really just is what it is. So really disappointed with the whole weekend. Yesterday's cancellation, tonight with all the chaos. They're shutting the lights off on us now. So I guess we'll just consider this a wash. You just have to be so strong out here on the road, and not gonna lie, it's hard to not let things get to me. And I just want to do the best I can for these guys and do the best on the best stage. You know, there's so many good guys here, and I just you know, want to make the most of this opportunity. And it sucks when we're kind of struggling and then we kind of shine for a moment, we're running good, and then back to, you know, trying to, and I don't even like to use the word struggle, that's not the best word. It's just, like I said, you're trying to just take that one extra step. You know, all the top guys are here and we're just here, and when there's that much distance in between you, that's a lot. So thanks to Shark Racing, thanks to Bobby Allen. We'll keep working together as a whole. We got, I think, 5 or 6 nights left, and just thankful for this opportunity and want to keep making the most of it. And yeah, that's what it's like out here, guys, on the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series Tour. Deuces.